Everyday Power Quotes, Motivation, Career, Books, Progress, More. Connect with us: Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Everyday Power Inspirational Quotes, inspirational knowledge quotes for those who love learning. Inspirational knowledge quotes for those who love learning. Like Sir Francis Bacon once said, knowledge is power. The knowledge quotes in this video will inspire you to become a lifetime learner. What have you learned today? As I grow older, I have learned that life is all about the pursuit of knowledge. Most of us are unaware of the incredible places, people, and things that are around us at all times. There are so many life-changing experiences just waiting to be found. Throughout my life, I hope to gain as much knowledge as possible about the world around me, especially within subjects that I care about. If you would like to do the same, these knowledge quotes will give you the inspirational boost you need to learn. Check out the intellectual words of some of the world's brightest minds below. A list of short inspirational quotes for daily encouragement. Look through our complete collection of inspirational quotes here. Knowledge quotes about education. Knowledge quotes about education. 1. Knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress, in every society, in every family. Kofi Annan. 2. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Aristotle. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where your energy. Get updates on the latest posts and more from Everyday Power straight to you. 3. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Nelson Mandela. 4. Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing worth knowing can be taught. Oscar Wilde. 5. Education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. George Washington Carver. 6. Education is what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten. Says B.F. Skinner. 7. Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one. Says Malcolm Forbes. 8. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Said Albert Einstein. 9. To educate a man in mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to society. Says Theodore Roosevelt. 10. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. Says Robert Frost. 11. He who opens a schooled door, closes a prison. Says Victor Hugo. 12. Self-education is, I firmly believe, the only kind of education there is. Says Isaac Asimov. 13. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. Says Diogenes. 14. There is no end to education. It is not that you read a book, pass an examination, and finish your education. The whole of life, from the moment you are born to the moment you die, is a process of learning. Says Jiddu Krishnamurti. You might also like these motivational literature quotes to share with your favorite bookworm. Inspirational knowledge quotes. 15. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Says Benjamin Franklin. Related butterfly quotes honoring your metamorphosis. 16. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. Says Plato. 17. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Says Confucius. 18. Knowledge of the past and the places of the earth is the ornament and food of the mind of man. Says Leonardo da Vinci. 19. Without knowledge action is useless and knowledge without action is futile. Says Abu Bakr. 20. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge but can never prove how it got there. Says Albert Einstein. 21. Knowledge is knowing that we cannot know. Says Ralph Waldo Emerson. 22. Knowledge is love and light and vision. Says Helen Keller. 23. Those who know, don't predict. Those who predict, don't know. Says Lao Tzu. 24. Knowledge of the self is the mother of all knowledge. So it is incumbent on me to know myself, to know it completely, to know its minutiae, its characteristics, its subtleties, and its very atoms. Says Khalil Gibran. 25. Doubt grows with knowledge. says Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. 26. Knowledge rests not upon truth alone, but upon error also, says Carl Jung. 27. All our knowledge has its origins in our perceptions, says Leonardo da Vinci. If you're enjoying these quotes, you'll love our collection of perception quotes. 28. The only real security that a man can have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience and ability, says Henry Ford. 29. Today knowledge has power. It controls access to opportunity and advancement, says Peter Drucker. 30. The true method of knowledge is an experiment, says William Blake. If you're enjoying these quotes, you'll love our collection of William Blake quotes for the creative soul. Knowledge quotes about learning. 31. It is always in season for old men to learn, says Aeschylus. 32. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever, says Mahatma Gandhi. 33. Learning never exhausts the mind, says Leonardo da Vinci. 34. Question everything. Learn something. Answer nothing, says Euripides. 35. The minute that you're not learning, I believe you're dead, says Jack Nicholson. 36. A man only learns in two ways, one by reading, and the other by association with smarter people, says Will Rogers. 37. I like to listen. I have learned a great deal from listening carefully. Most people never listen, says Ern Lama. 42. If you know, let others light their candles in it, says Margaret Fuller. 43. Knowledge is like money, to be of value it must circulate, and in circulating it can increase in quantity and, hopefully, in value, says Louis L'Amour. 44. The fact that I can plant a seed and it becomes a flower, share a bit of knowledge and it becomes another's, smile at someone and receive a smile in return, are to me continual spiritual exercises, says Leo Buscaglia. Don't forget to also check out these graduation quotes from famous films about success. 45. Knowledge can only be volunteered, it cannot be conscripted, says Dave Snowden. 46. Everybody is smarter than anybody, says Carl Sandburg. 47. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle, says Father James Keller. 48. All knowledge is connected to all other knowledge. The fun is in making the connections, says Arthur C. Aufderheide. 49. Alchemists turned into chemists when they stopped keeping secrets, says Eric Raymond. If you're enjoying these quotes, you'll love our collection of alchemist quotes that will inspire you to follow your destiny. 50. In today's environment, hoarding knowledge ultimately erodes your power. If you know something very important, the way to get power is by actually sharing it, says Joseph L. Bodarocco. More knowledge quotes and sayings. 51. The man of knowledge must be able not only to love his enemies but also to hate his friends, says Friedrich Nietzsche. 52. Great minds are always feared by lesser minds, says Dan Brown. 53. The surest way of concealing from others the boundaries of one's knowledge is not to overstep them, says Giacomo Leopardi. 54. Knowledge, like air, is vital to life. Like air, no one should be denied it, says Alan Moore. 55. Learning does not make one learned, there are those who know and those who have understanding. The first requires memory and the second philosophy, says Alexandre Dumas. 56. The knowledge of all things is possible, says Alexandre Dumas. 57. Knowledge is a treasure, but the practice is the key to it, says Lao Tzu. 58. The advancement and diffusion of knowledge is the only guardian of true liberty, says James Madison. 59. The way of success is the way of continuous pursuit of knowledge, says Napoleon Hill. 60. Knowledge grows exponentially. The more we know, the greater our ability to learn, and the faster we expand our knowledge base, says Dan Brown. Don't forget to also check out these history quotes that will open your eyes to stories of the past. More knowledge quotes to enrich your mind. 61. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing, says Socrates. 62. Any fool can know. The point is to understand, says Albert Einstein. 63. I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better, says Maya Angelou. 64. Reading furnishes the mind only with materials of knowledge, it is thinking that makes what we read ours, says John Locke. 65. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think, says Socrates. 66. The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, it is the illusion of knowledge, says Daniel J. Boorstin. 67. For me, I am driven by two main philosophies: know more today about the world than I knew yesterday and lessen the suffering of others. You'd be surprised how far that gets you, says Neil deGrasse Tyson. 68. The possession of knowledge does not kill the sense of wonder and mystery. There is always more mystery, says Anna East 9 Inch Nails. 69. Knowledge is power. Power to do evil, or power to do good. Power itself is not evil. So knowledge itself is not evil, says Veronica Roth. 70. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend, says Robertson Davis. Knowledge quotes to make you want to keep learning. 71. Knowledge without transformation is not wisdom. Paulo Coelho. 72. Your graduation means you know, now experience will be gained by putting your knowledge into practice. Catherine Pulsifer. 73. Diversification is a hedge against a lack of knowledge, says Naval Ravikant. 74. Ideas are knowledge. When we share knowledge in the written or verbal form, amazing things can happen, says Jim Rohn. 75. Knowledge is like underwear. It is useful to have it, but not necessary to show it off, says Nicky Gumbel. 76. It's not knowledge that will transform you, it's understanding, says Maxime Lagacé. 77. I'm grateful for the teachers that I have, that they have the knowledge to teach and that they are willing to teach me. Ingo Michel. 78. As my knowledge of things grew, I felt more and more the delight of the world I was in. Helen Keller. 79. Knowledge has a beginning but no end, says Gitu S. Iyengar. 80. Older people have one unique source of knowledge that the rest of us do not, they have lived their lives, says Carl Pilmer. What do you love learning more about? If you learn something beneficial, the best thing that you can do is pay it forward. Although we live in an age where information is highly accessible, it can be difficult to figure out which is valuable. For better health and well-being, keep watching and sharing. For more videos, subscribe our YouTube channel Wear Your Energy and press the bell icon.